Ago. Madago, the Kika Kunaji, Togu Mamon, Madago, Toto Sao is here again. We want to continue with our teachings, our lessons from a fan. What the cosmology, the teachings about the universe, the teachings about man, woman, children, and the whole universe. That is what we are here to continue with. And today happens to be a Father's Day. Today happens to be a Father's Day, and we want to take the opportunity to talk about father, to talk about the male energies. Yes, that is what we want to do today. Even though today we're supposed to be, we're supposed to continue with the female energy, the values of a woman, but we want to take this opportunity to say Happy Father's Day to each and every fathers out there. Yes, we are here to talk about the values of a man. Values of a man. That is what we are here to talk about. Yes. So, when we are talking about values of a man, anyway, before I go to the values of a man, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all Tobokos, Jobanao, Selipa, Lubedel, Amablata now, all of you. Happy Father's Day. That is what we are here to talk about today, about father. What are the male energies? What are the energies responsible for? Responsible for creative seed in this dimension. That is what so we want to play this song for you. When we come back, we continue. Mi po majara mabanya ochia mi po majaro mazuku makba basaya maduna dara koswe alelelelelelele mi po majara mi po majara mabanya ochia
po majaro mazufu makba bazo ya maduna dara koswe alalala pom majalai yemi pom majara magbanyo kiai alalala pom majalai yemi pom majara magbanyo kiai ale umanya olalo imata di makoya la kono mushu umanya osoko we numanya wangre timajani we numanya wama ale umanya ata bi makoya
kola mushu umanya osogbo we numanya wede timajani we numanya wama
we numanya
we numanya wede timajani we numanya wama ale numanya numata hevi makwala la bwana hushio numanya osogbo we numanya waide chimajali we numanya wama hoko ayo ngambe nyale ai pleba bobla mahushio tomatona wakwa odie nyale ya anya kokolea bagbala mabukamba balo tobo la washima
ayo pena we anyele ya
pleba bobla mausho tomatona wakawe
anyele ya
anya kokolea agbala mabubo
ibobla mausho
tomatona wakawe anyele ya Nyelukulea Agbala maubo Yo nyatape agbe ele maubo agbe galam yon to miapa ashima Today we are talking about values of a man. Values of a man, because today happens to be Father's Day. Today happens to be what? Father's Day. So we are here to talk about the values of a man. Now, if we are talking about man, who is a man? Or if we say female energies, male energy. If we are talking about male energies, what are we talking about? If we are talking about male energies, what are we talking about? That is what we are here to talk about today. Male energies. Today is Father's Day, and every father should pay attention. Every father should listen to us, because today we are going to give you what you're supposed to know. Today we are giving you what you needed to know. That is what we are here to do today. Happy Father's Day to each and every man out there. Now, when we are talking about man, what are the responsibilities? What are the duties? What are the values of a man? If we say man in this domain, in this life of ours, what are our responsibilities? The first responsibility of a man is to produce the creative seed. The first responsibility of a man in this whole universe is what? To produce the creative seed, to produce the yekuau, to produce the hunkuau, to produce the yekushinguleo. That is what we are in this domain to do. So every man living in this life, we are the owners of the creative seed. That is why in heaven we call fathers as the possessor, the ones who own something. So men owns the creative seed, and then women receive the creative seed and do what? And nurture the creative seed, and birth the creative seed, and develop the creative seed. That is what women do. Women have been receiving the creative seed, they have been developing the creative seed, they have been nurturing the creative seed, and they have been giving birth. They have been birthing the creative seed. So the first responsibility of a man in this life, in this universe, is to produce the creative seed, is to give the creative seed out to the women. That is the first responsibility of every man. Now, in the psyche, in the spiritual subconscious mind of every man, you see the logic behind every creativity, the logic behind the whole of life, the whole of this universe is a male energy. The logic, the life and the life force, the primal life force of every single thing in this whole universe happens to be a male energy. So in the nature of a man, in the existence of a man, we are responsible for the logic of everything, how things behave, the elusiveness of everything in nature. When we are talking about a man, we are talking about the primary life forces hidden in the creative seed. These are what constitutes man. And also, when we are talking about the flame of fire, that happens to be the soul, the loso of everything, is what we are talking about here. So, the basic fundamental values of every man in this life is to produce the creative seed. So, every man owns the creative seed given to women. Please don't forget to share the video. Share the video, comment, and like. share the video, comment and like. Let the video get to the last person so that you don't be the only beneficiary. Now, what we are talking about is value of a man, and we are saying that every man is responsible. The preliminary factor of value of every man is the creative seed. So we give the creative seed to the women. They receive the creative seed. The women nurture the creative seed. They develop the creative seed. They grow the creative seed, and they birth the creative seed. And after birth, they still develop it. They still grow it. They still nurture it. So every man in this universe owns everything in this universe. Every man in this universe owns. So women owns everything in this whole universe. And the principles for development, principles for growth, principles for birthing are also controlled by the women. So yes, you see that in the nature of this universe, you see how women are taking care of their kids. How every woman wants their children to develop, to become something good for them. And you realize that most of the men always become reluctant. They relax when it comes to development of their kids because they don't have the know-how. Men doesn't have, the formula, the creative powers to develop anything in this universe. And I am saying that when you come to science and technology, the ideas of developing science and technology, all of these things are all female energies. That is what we are talking about today, the values of a man. And we are saying that the idea, the creativeness, the creative seed, the logic, the logical, the idea, the subconsciousness of all of these things is what we call male energies. So you realize that men produce the creative seed, and once men produce the creative seed, women receive the creative seed and birth and develop and grow the creative seed. So in the nature of every man, unlike few of the men that in their spiritual states they do have portion of female energies. So some of the men, you realize that they kind of have interest in the development of their kids. They have interest in the development of their children. They have interest in development of the whole universe. These men have what we call female energy attached to their male energies, because in nature, in logic, men are responsible for giving the creative seed, giving the logicness of the creative seed, giving the life, the primary life forces of every seed. So, but developing it, give it to the women. They are responsible for that. Now, the reason why every man said, I own this child. These child are my children, because the creative seed is coming from men. So, now listen. The creative seed that is coming from every man is what we call Yeku. Yeku. Yeku is the creative seed of men. So every man releases Yeku, and the body, the creative seed weight is what we call Mule, the white wish body. That is what we call it, Yeku Shimule. Eba hon shivinyo lo, Yeku Shimule obevyo, ahon shivinyo nama. Yeku Shimule obevyo. Tobo kosaji, amala do me pola kaji, amala do wezon, tobo ko amala do lo me blibano. Alaba, once you see men, you see their creative seed. They always produce the creative seed for development. Now, every man owns everything in this universe. Please take this very carefully. Every man owns every creative seed in this universe. And when I'm talking about creative seed, everything in this whole universe was created or came as a result or came out of a creative seed, out of Yeku. So every creative seed we men are responsible for it. Now, remember, if you are a child, the reason I'm saying this is some people normally say, okay, my father didn't take care of me, so I don't want to have any allegiance towards my dad. I don't want to respect my dad. I don't want to give him that fatherly love because he did not take care of me. Please, let us all stop this, because your seed was given to your mom and she birthed you. Remember that the energies, the spiritual energies responsible for development, responsible for growth, responsible for birth, these energies are all female energies. They have nothing to do with your father. I am not saying that men should not take care of their children. I am just giving you the spiritual aspect of the logicness of everything in existence, how things work. So, men produce the creative seed, and we men, we don't know anything about development. We don't know anything about creativity. We don't know anything about birthing. So that is why, had it been we know all of these things, we would have kept the creative seed and nurture it and develop it ourselves. But because it is not in our jurisdiction to take care of this seed and produce them, make sure we develop, nurture them, birth them, that is what we give them to the women to take care of. So in nature, every man lacks what we call, that is why in every language the word G, man doesn't have G energy, the spiritual energy that we call G. Women, we don't have it. We instrument Ginavio, Nyono Ginavi, Nyono, ye fona fu a Ginavi, into Yamata Givio. Men can give. That is why if you go to the family house, they say the vio mia tore. Man is the possessor, man is the owner. To the vio tonyo, meaning because I gave their creative seed to their mother, so they are mine. That is where the scientific understanding or the spiritual meaning of the logic of men behind nature. What we are trying to say is that everything you see in this universe came from creative seed. And everything below the region of Yeku came from Yeku. That is what we are telling you. So every man owns everything we see in this life. The reason is that everything in life came from Ku, the creative seed. So if you said your father didn't take care of you, for that matter, you don't want to give him that respect. Even some people are saying that they don't want to bear their father's son name because they did not take care of them. My brother, my sister, it is not good. Don't do that. The reason is that your seed was given to your mother by your father. And one thing that you need to know is that today you have your father because he didn't take care of you. Remember, your seed was given to your mother by your father. And for that matter, for that alone, happy Father's Day to each and every man out there. The respect for men, the primary value, responsibility of every man is to produce the creative seed. And I am saying this, that everything you see in this whole universe came out of creative seed. So, and the one who gets the seed is we the men. That is what we are saying. If we don't have the creative seed, we wouldn't have given you to your mother. So, and also, men, we are not praising you in your wrongdoings. What we are trying to say is we are just giving definition to the male energies, period. Please do not misunderstand what we are saying. Take responsibility of your kids. Let us all take care of our children. Once you produce the creative seed, find your possible best to support our women, so that they can nurture our children. We produce the seed, we give the seed, but let us also help and support the women so they can develop, so they can be able to raise these children up and doing. So my brother, my sister, today we are talking about the value of a man. Values of a man. That is what we are talking about today. And every man in this life ought to be celebrated, because if not men, there wouldn't be any cosmos. If not because of men, there wouldn't be this universe. Yes, that is why in the wisdom of our ancient fathers, that is why in the wisdom of the whole cosmos, the whole universe, you see the energy, or we can say our grandfather, so to say, the sun that happens to be the god of every male energy. The sun that happens to be the godly male energy, and the moon happens to be the goddess of what? Female energies. So everything you see in this life is coming from the male energy as gu. When you go into Pali Yakushimwe, it says that what is Guda? Guda, Gu is the sun, Da is the moon. So Guda is talking about the sun and the moon. What is Re? Is the sun. The creative seed, they were crying, calling the male energy, the male father of this universe. They are calling upon the sun, that they want to go into a state of life. They want to go into the domain of life. So they are calling on the sun to come and pick them, so that the sun can take them and give them to the moon. So the moon can birth them on the planet Earth. That is what we are talking about today, my brother, my sister. We are talking about values of women. So the creative seed were produced by we men. We give them to the women because female energies are responsible for growth, development, and mention them, addition, multiplication, and what have you. So my brother, my sister, every man out there, we respect you today. We are saying happy Father's Day. Take responsibility as father. Support our women so they can be able to control, so they can be able to regulate, so they can be able to promote and multiply and make sure this whole universe become a better place. Without women, there is no cosmology, there is no existence, there is no universe. So for my brother, my sister, let us all support our fathers. Let us all support our male energies, because that is responsible for producing the creative seed. That is what we are here today to talk about. So what we are saying is that men have duty to produce the seed, and women receive and develop and give birth afterwards. But listen, some men, that is why if you go through a fire initiation, you can attest the fact that if you have female, let's assume you are a man and you've gone through a fire ceremony, and your only that will come will speak. If you have a female energy attached to you, you will see it there. If you are a woman, you went through a fast ceremony and you have male energies attached, you also get to know. So we are saying that we are here to talk about how important our men, our fathers, our brothers are, they are very much important, because if not because of a man, there is not going to be any creation in this whole universe. So, I repeat, if not because of a man, there is not going to be any creation. So that means that there will be zero creation. So, and let us respect the women too, because if not because of them, who are we going to give the creative seed to? Who is going to nurture, develop, and birth the creative seed, my brother, my sister? These are what we need to reason and think and try to see what at all do we have hidden in the ancient esoteric teachings of our African forefathers. It's very important that we understand what we have, what was used to give birth to us. It is very important. So every woman try to respect a man. Every woman try to respect your husband. Respect your brother, your father, your grandfather. Do not say that your father, my father, didn't take care of you, so because of that, you said you cut him off. My sister, my brother, you can cut your father off today, say he didn't take good care of you, because of that you are cutting him off. Because of that, you don't want to use his surname. Because of that, you don't want to associate yourself with him. Listen, today you have life. If you die, you become the creative seed. And if you want to come back to life, you still need these same male energies to release you as a creative seed to your mother for you to be born again. Those teachings that you have over there that say that if you die, you are going to remain in the grave for somebody to come and wake you up. African cosmology, African spiritual esoteric knowledge system didn't talk about that. We Africans, if we die, we become a creative seed and be born again. You die and you come back to life. You die and come back to life. As many as you want to come. So, do not have this understanding that if you die, you are going to remain in the grave for somebody to come to awaken you, my brother, my sister. We do not have that in our esoteric teachings. So, take it off your mind. Respect your parent. Respect your father. Don't say he didn't take care of you. It is not his fault. It might be due to certain circumstances that led to that. Try to forgive and forget. Let us move forward. Let love lead all of us. So we are talking about values of a man, and we did mention few, and with their responsibility and the logic behind nature of a man. You understand? Every woman used to say that men doesn't have love, men don't love. It is not so. The nature of man is responsible for what you are saying. So it is not men, it is what was used in their creation, in their making, that constitute what you think that they are not loving people. Men are loving people. If not so, they wouldn't release the creative seed at the first place. They have love for everybody. So our women, our mothers, our daughters, try to respect your fathers, your husband, your brothers, etc. Let us all love each other, one another, because the female energies cannot survive without the male energies. Likewise, the male energies can also not survive without the female energy. That is why you see Buddha, you see the sun and the moon always interchanging, doing intersection. The moon, you see the sun coming in the afternoon to give her the sunlight.
èmi pọ̀ mo jẹ́ra mo gbẹ̀yàn ti àyè alẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ èmi pọ̀ mo jẹ́ra èmi pọ̀ mo jẹ́ra mo gbẹ̀yàn ti àyè èmi pọ̀ mo jẹ́ra lóò.
Mazufu makpa bazo ya maduna dala koswe alelelelele mikpo majarai mikpo majara mabanya ochiai
mikpo majara lo mazufu makpa bazo ya maduna dala koswe alelelelele
mikpo majarai mikpo majara mabanya ochiai
alelelelele
Majarai Mikpo majara mabanya uchiai Umanya ololo Mata evi makwala la fana mushu Umanya usobo Ahowe numanya ewede Chimajali we numanya ewawa
Ale umanya ololo Mata evi
makwala la fana mushu Umanya usobo Awe numanya ewaide chimajali we numanya ewama numanya ewaide Awe numanya ewaide chimajali we numanya ewama Ale numanya ololo numata evi makwala la bwana mushu numanya usogbo Awe numanya ewaide chimajali we numanya ewama Belamde nyale ai blagba bogla manusho jama dole wakawe nyale ya kokole ya bagbala maubo
ayo blanwe
nyale ai blagba bogla manusho jama dole wakawe kokole ya agbala maubo
igbogla
manusho jumado wakaji anyale ya kokole ya agbala maubo agbala maubo bava e agbagala muto ha washima. Yo, we are here talking about values of a man, And before we put it or come to an end, I want to clear this very well, emphasize on this very well, because men own the creative seed. That is what we call them top. That is what we call them the owner of the creative seed. So every person, every child who was born, please remember that your father gave your creative seed to your mother. Your father gave your creative seed to your mother, and for that matter, if your creative seed come to an end, when after you've been born and you died, and I said once you die you become seed again. And once you become seed again, what will happen is that a man must bring you back to life. A man must give your seed back to a woman to birth you. So let us all respect our fathers, because if not them, we wouldn't have been here. My name is Toto Sao. We'll be talking about the values of a man. And please let us share the video, let it reach to the last person, because we all need this esoteric, ancient esoteric or ancestral esoteric teachings from a cosmology. So let us all respect our men. Every woman should respect your man. Respect them, if not for anything. Respect them because they have the primary life force of everything. The creative seed that came to this universe to form the planet, to form the animals, to form the bush, to form fire, to form air, to form water, to form the earth element, to form human beings, to form everything came from men, came from the male energy, came from we men. So let us all respect. And I want to take this opportunity, this special opportunity, and say Happy Father's Day to our son. Happy Father's Day to our son. I'm talking about S-U-N, son, the day sun, the sun that has been brightened, giving all of us the primary life forces. Let us all say Happy Father's Day to the son. I'm talking about Ndokuchu. I'm talking about that is what I'm talking about. The son. We are saying Happy Father's Day because you are a male energy. You are a man. Thank you very much. My name is Toto Sao, and we'll be here again to continue next week, Wednesday. Thank you very much.